I bought 10 acres of undeveloped land in the woods of North Carolina because I thought peace was a location next to a game preserve. The weeds grew 12 foot high. There wasn't a yard, it was just sand. There weren't any neighbors. And I'm that woman that was inside the house who stopped going outside. This is where the book came from, and I'm going to read you some of it. Welcome back. This is Dr. Lisa, science-backed, soul-supported, the Nez Zen community. We're on day 5 of When the Ground Gives Way, and today we're talking about what isolating yourself when you're depressed actually does. And I'm reading you the poems. Today I'm telling you my own story, and I'm going to read some of the book because there are parts of this I still cannot say as well in ordinary sentences. When my life came apart, I did what a lot of us do. I decided the problem was where I was. So I went looking for peace and I bought it. 10 acres of undeveloped land in Rocky Point, North Carolina. Not even a wide spot in the road. Right next to Holly Shelter Game Preserve. Here's how I wrote it in Grounded in Chaos. Another challenge, another plan. Find somewhere to live. Out in the woods sounds nice. Out in the woods sounds peaceful. It was not peaceful. Undeveloped, cleared land gets reclaimed fast. Within a season, I had 12-foot weeds, no exaggeration, 12 feet, and no yard, only sand. And there is a line in the poem Weeds that I did not fully understand when I wrote it. Isolation became my friend. Isolation was my companion. So I stayed in the house because going outside meant looking at all of it. And underneath the scenery, I was pinching every penny for 15 months to pay the IRS back $35,000. I wrote that I squeezed those pennies so hard the boogers came out of Lincoln's nose. And that joke is doing exactly what jokes do in a book like this. It's holding the door shut. Here's what I want you to take from my 10 acres. I had confused solitude within isolation, and they are not the same thing. Solitude is chosen, and you come back from it. Isolation is what happens when the coming back stops and it doesn't announce itself. It arrives dressed as rest. It says you're protecting your energy. It says you just need some space. And then one day you notice you haven't spoken to a person who knows you in 11 days. And you can't remember deciding that. Now, the science, because there is a specific thing that got me out. And I didn't know it at the time that it was evidence-based. James Pennebaker at the University of Texas, Austin has spent 40 years studying what he calls expressive writing. His basic paradigm is almost insultingly simple. People write about a difficult experience for a short stretch on consecutive days, and it has been replicated hundreds of times. The finding that keeps holding: structured language about a hard experience is associated with improvements in mood and functioning over time. And critically, the effect is not about catharsis. It's not venting. It shows up most when people build a coherent account, when the writing moves from raw feeling towards a structure that holds it. That distinction matters enormously. So let me say it plainly. Screaming into a notebook is not the mechanism. Making meaning is the mechanism. Language does something to an experience that carrying it around does not. I didn't know any of that. I just started writing poems in a house I wouldn't leave, on a land that I refused to walk. And I want to be honest about what that was. It was not a wellness practice. It was survival with a pen. The poems came out in short, broken lines because that was the only length of thought that I could hold. And that's the book, Grounded in Chaos. It's not a book that I wrote about a hard time. It is the hard time in real time from the inside. And that's why the lines are short. That's why some of them barely stand up. The reason I read it out loud now in front of a camera is the thing I most needed and did not have that year. Not advice and not evidence that somebody had been where I was, that said it plainly and was still here now. And I want to say the honest part too. Pums were not the whole of it. There was a therapist, Reiki, medication for a while, and there were 4 women I called my girl squad. The writing was the door. It was not the whole house. If you're somewhere near where I was, please tell one actual human being this week. And if it's heavy, tell a professional. A book is good company. It's not treatment, and I would never pretend otherwise. But here's today's challenge. In about 10 minutes, write 5 sentences about what actually happened this year. Not how you feel about it, but what happened, in order, in plain language for no one to read but you. Don't make it grammatically correct or edit it. Pennebaker's work suggests the value is in building the account, not in the polish. Then close the notebook and go to bed. You're not processing tonight. You're giving the thing a shape so you can stop carrying it shapeless. That's today, day 5. If you're on your own version of those 10 acres right now, if the isolation crept up on you and rest is rest, tell me in the comments. You don't have to explain it. One line is plenty. I read every single comment, and I have been exactly where you are. If this gave you one easier breath, help me pass it on. Like, subscribe, tap the bell, save it to a playlist. Every share brings one more person into the Nez Zen community, and I'm so thankful for all of you, my subscribers. That's how we build this, one steadier day at a time. Grounded in Chaos is linked in the description. And tomorrow we're going to talk about how to function at work when nothing inside you is functioning. This is science-backed, soul-supported. I'm Dr. Lisa for the Nez Zen community.